Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a part of my product development and business series. And this video is kind of like a part two to my initial video of how to create your own line of unique products outside of just the traditional t-shirts and hoodies that we typically see advertised. So when I first got started in trying to develop my own clothing brand, the only thing I could really find was like websites where I can get my own t-shirt print, my own slogan or logo or something printed on a t-shirt or on a hoodie or a sweat outfit or something like that. But that just wasn't what I was looking for. And I think that a lot of people, when they're looking to start a brand, they opt for t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that because they're not really finding too much good, solid resources on how they can actually start their own line of unique products as opposed to just simply, just a basic tee. And so the reason why I wanted to come up with this type of series is because I really just want to help other people. Also, guys, just so you know, I am in the process of creating an entire from start to finish actual course on how you can start your own brand of unique products, just from start to finish. So from everything as, right from the very start. So from logos and branding to product photography, to how to design a product, to how to find inspiration and ideas, to how to find a manufacturer that is going to be right for your brand, because all manufacturers are not good at everything. I had to learn that the hard way. I'm also going to talk about marketing. I'm going to talk about where to sell your products. We're going to talk about social media tactics. And then we're also going to talk about the psychology that's really necessary to actually succeed in business, in any business. But, for product-based business or just any type of business, there is a certain mindset that you are going to need to have in order for you to ultimately be able to push forward and actually succeed. So we're going to go through all of that from the very beginning from start to finish, step by step. I'm going to go over all of that in this course. It's going to be very detailed, and I'm very proud of it, very excited about it. I've been working on it for the past few weeks, and I'm looking forward to actually launching. So today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of jump into how to really initially get started on coming up with your own brand of unique products or your own unique designs. Kind of like, this particular jacket that I'm wearing, it has my logo printed on the inside of it. It's like a vegan leather, uh, like leather jacket with kind of an asymmetrical kind of style to it, and things like that. So when I first got started, one of the ways that I found inspiration was to actually log on to websites like Pinterest. And I love Pinterest because it really allows for you to be able to find like an endless amount of like resources and pictures and links to to ultimately find inspiration for something that you may want to design yourself. um the inspiration for this jacket style, that's actually on the mannequin. That's the same jacket style as this one, but it's just in white. So I kind of got the idea, like the initial structural idea, from Pinterest. Unfortunately, I don't have the original picture. I can't find it for some reason. But so what I did was I just kind of found inspiration and then I just recreated it. And the way that I like to recreate things, and I'm actually just going to jump right over into Pinterest really quick just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So just to kind of give you an idea of what I mean by just kind of getting inspiration from Pinterest. So this particular like jacket design, like this is a actual flat technical sketch of a basic structural jacket. And actually in my course, I actually go over how to kind of recreate a style that's kind of a structure that already exists. So taking something that's not super complicated and then actually taking it and recreating it into Adobe Illustrator. So, kind of what I do is I'll find my inspiration from like a place like Pinterest. And they have so many different like styles. I mean, it doesn't even have to be like an actual technical sketch. It can be something that's already, kind of been created. And you can really just, you know, take a technical that already exists and then recreate it. And I actually go through all of that process in my masterclass. I teach you how to go from, taking like an idea from like Pinterest or somewhere and actually inputting it into Adobe Illustrator and actually recreating it and kind of putting your own spin on it um, before you send it over to manufacturing. And so, like this, for instance, this is a good example of something that starts off as, a technical sketch and then, actually getting it made and, made into an actual garment. And there's, quite a few, examples of this, of, um, you know, kind of how you kind of go from concept to reality, I guess you could say. So I would say, if you are interested in like at least getting started and like, let's say you're not interested in just doing like a basic t-shirt or something, and you kind of want to do something a little bit different, you can take a basic structure, like even something like this. Like this is like a parka. It's a pretty general, structure. I mean, this is not like something that's extremely intricate. It's a nice parka style coat, and it will be very simple to kind of recreate this in Illustrator and kind of put your own spin on it, your own color scheme in it. You can, delete or add things. And just for example's sake, this is the jacket. I actually, created this whole like I just made up a name and I actually just made this company name up, and I just did this literally for example's sake for my actual master class. And I actually go through, like how you would actually, take that initial like drawing and then you would just actually recreate it in Adobe Illustrator. And so that's kind of what I do. I just, I'll take like a simple, because the thing about it is, if you're trying to get into actual like fashion design, it's going to take a lot of, you may want to get like maybe actually take like an actual course on specifically how to do fashion design work. But if you're looking to create like a brand of like unique products and you don't want to initially start by doing a lot of really, really intricate designs, then I would say just start with a basic shape, a basic parka or a basic bomber jacket. You can start with a dress style that's pretty simple, or a pants style, cargo pants style that's pretty simple, and you can really make things your own. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything crazy and intricate. You can develop your style over time. And you don't need to start with a lot of products. And that's one of the mistakes that I made when I first started trying to develop a brand of my own. I thought that I needed a bunch of products. And you're actually better off starting off with maybe only one or two designs, because real, like high quality fashion companies and fashion brands, they're not coming out with, 100 different products a week. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. I mean, they may have a few pieces per season. It's more, it's just not necessary to have a bunch of stuff when you first start. And actually, your brand will be perceived as more exclusive and more high quality, and actually probably even more expensive if you don't have 100 different products coming out every single week. Because to me, when you have too many products, it tends to kind of cheapen it, and you start to think about companies like Shein.com and Fashion Nova and companies who are really not seen as being very high class or high quality. And finding a manufacturer is actually relatively pretty simple. Once again, in my actual course, I'm going to go into like more details about more information about finding manufacturers. But what I will say is you can find a really great manufacturer on pietrostudio.com. If you want to sign yourself up. And then you can take a look at some of their different manufacturing options. They have a lot of different manufacturers who specialize in different types of garments. So, like, let's say if you were interested in this bubble jacket style coat, or if you're interested in a coat like that. So let's say if you were interested in actually doing the parka style, coat that we just looked at on Pinterest, there's a pretty good chance that maybe this particular manufacturer that you could find on pietrostudio.com would be able to recreate this particular jacket for you. Because as you can see, this is the type of style that they specialize in. So, and, obviously they do sampling. There's different companies that'll show you what their minimum order quantity is. This one does have a higher minimum order quantity. That is something that you want to think about. But I would say that just to get yourself started, go ahead. And if you have a style that you really are interested in, go ahead and get the sample. I mean, I would say just go ahead, get it started. It's not necessary to wait until you have everything together. Like, you don't have to have everything lined up in place to get started. And honestly, if you think that you need to have everything perfectly in place before you start, you're never going to get started. So if you want to start your own unique brand, your own brand of unique products, the first thing you want to do is you want to just search for some inspiration. You want to get a logo designed, and you want to keep your logo simple and clean. I've talked about this in another video that I can actually link the video to the link to that video below, talking about the importance of keeping a nice, clean, simplistic logo design that all encompasses your branding. So you definitely want to start there. So you want to start with a nice, clean logo, get your branding in order, find some inspiration. And then, once you kind of find your inspiration, kind of get an idea of what type of garment you want to develop first, then you can check out Pietra Studio. And actually, Pietra Studio, you actually don't even need to, like, let's say if you want to have a line of products, but you're not really interested in apparel. Let's say you're more interested in makeup. Pietra Studio has a whole list of actual makeup manufacturers, and they can copy a formula that maybe you already have, or that you can use one of their pre-made formulas, and they'll do like some intricate or unique packaging for you. It's really great. I mean, they have a lot of different options as far as, they have a lot of different manufacturers, and you'll actually be able to see what they specialize in. So it really gives you like a huge advantage, because as I was saying before, every manufacturer is not good at everything, especially when it comes to apparel. And I definitely learned that from the beginning. I tried to order products that were women's fashion products, but I was trying to order them from a manufacturer that only specialized in sportswear. So you can imagine that the garments did not come out very well. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. And that's the reason why I really love that website. And in my masterclass, I'm going to go over with my students from start to finish some of the examples of some mistakes that were made, some things that you want to be careful about when you're ordering, some things you want to pay attention to. There's so many details that go along with it that I really think that before you get started in this process, you really do need to kind of know from start to finish what to do, what to expect, because you could experience delays, you can experience shutdowns. You may find a manufacturer that you love, and then they may end up going out of business. And then you have to kind of try to find another one who can live up to the same quality. So there's a lot of things that kind of encompass this, but it's not impossible and it's really not as difficult as you think. And it's actually very fun when you really get into it. So that's all I was going to say for now, guys. I just wanted to I wanted to show you, I wanted to give you some idea of kind of where you can start, where you can get your inspiration from, and where you can actually find a manufacturer on Pietra Studio. Rather, if you're interested in getting an apparel company started, or if you're just interested in any other type of product, you'll be able to find a good manufacturer on there that you can at least get started with your first sample from. So, all right, that's all for now, guys, and I will see you in the next video.